We're a pop group called St Etienne, all the way from London, England, and we're here to tell you everything about us. My name's Bob Stanley. I've got brown hair and blue eyes, and I play the keyboards, and I'm 27 years old. And I come from a town called Croydon in Surrey, where Captain Sensible's from as well. And it's a really great place.
Hi, my name's Pete Wiggs. I'm 26 and a Taurian, and I'm also from Croydon. I'm quite tall with brown eyes and look absolutely nothing like any of my pictures ever taken. I play keyboards in the group and write some of the songs.
Hello, my name's Sarah Cracknell and I'm the singer in the group, and I also do some go-go dancing sometimes, but they have to pay me lots of money to do that. I'm 22 and I tell lots of lies, especially about my age, and I come from Windsor, where the Queen is.
We've been asked to talk a little about ourselves, so I'll do my best. There might be rather a lot of humming and hawing and pausing and swearing. No, I shouldn't think I'll swear. I was born in Chelmsford in Essex and moved to Windsor when I was about 3. Well, actually, no, I went to school in Ascot, which is near Windsor. It was a convent, actually, run by nuns. Not that I ever wanted to become a nun. I met Bob and Pete, who were looking for a singer. In the meantime, I'd done a couple of records with a friend of mine under the name of Love Cut DB. They came out on a small record label, and Bob and Pete heard these records and quite liked them, and asked if they could meet up with me. So they came round to my flat, which is where I'm sitting now. I made them some pasta, fed them lots of wine, and they said, well, why don't we go in the studio and do some recording, and if we all get on well and it sounds good, and go from there. Ever since then we've been working together. More recently we've been writing together a bit more. I've been a bit more involved in the writing, which is fun. Things I like to do. I like dressing up, especially when I go out dancing. I like to wear lots of very sparkly, glittery, fluffy, feathery things. I've got loads of Lurex. I've got loads of sort of sequin tops and lots of feather boas, lots of platform shoes. I've got gold platform shoes. I've got so many shoes. I love shoes. I've got lots of boots as well, big platform boots, sort of 60s zip-up boots and things. I've been collecting shoes and boots for years. Any excuse to dress up. I've got like gold lame hot pants and a matching jacket with big lapels. Let's talk about what I like to eat, because eating is one of my favourite things, and I love spicy food. I love Thai food. Thai food is my favourite because it's really light and delicate but really hot and spicy at the same time. It's truly fantastic. I don't eat meat or fish, or I very rarely eat eggs, and if I do, they're free range. I'm a bit of a full-on vegetarian, really. I'm a big cat lover. I've got a pussy cat here. He's very stripy and very handsome. He has all sorts of different names. At the moment we call him Lardass because he's getting very fat. I'm trying to learn to surf. And that's about all I have to say about myself, really. I've sort of come up against a brick wall now. I can't think of anything else to say. I think you know all my most ever intimate secrets. I'll tell you who I have the biggest crush on in pop music. It's Mark Gardner from Ride, but don't tell anybody, it's a secret.
Hello, my name's Pete.
This is Bob. Croydon was a vibrant, exciting, crazy place to grow up. The music scene was buzzing, at least in the common room at school, when me and Pete controlled the decks. We'd get in there at about 8 o'clock in the morning, because we were masochists, which meant leaving the house at about 7. And play records by The Fall, Beach Boys and Joy Division. Those 3 were our formative influences.
We used to upset everybody else, though, especially the rugby players.
But we'd spend our lunch hours walking around Woolworths trying to find bargain records, which are even more extreme than The Fall and the Beach Boys. When we left school, we used to hang out in a place called Mario's Cafe and drink tea all day. And they play Radio 2 in the background, which is like a sort of easy listening channel, which plays Andy Williams on heavy rotation. We were sitting there one day and we said, we looked at the paper, it had the French football results. It said St Etienne 6, Paris Saint-Germain 0. We thought, it's got to be a sign. We've got to move to France.
And record some Andy Williams covers.
But within seconds we realised we couldn't actually play any musical instruments. What we did was, at the time we were listening to a lot of American electro, early hip-hop records, which would have instrumental backing tracks on the B-sides. We used to wire up a couple of tape recorders and a record player, play this instrumental backing track and then have samples of bits of speech off the telly and any other bit of rubbish we could find and put it over the top, in sort of like weird cut-up style, and then play them at parties for people. Sort of do a tape of current hit records, stick one of those sort of tracks we'd done in the middle and see if anyone noticed. And amazingly no one ever did. At the same time no one ever said, oh I thought that was great, what was it? Never mind.
We were too ahead of our time.
Anyway, shortly after that, said, why don't we go into the studio and try and do this properly? Let's go into the studio and try and drink a cup of tea properly, we said to each other.
And it worked.
We made a perfect cup of tea. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I like football, which you call soccer, and I like beer and chips. I like listening to music, especially Glenn Campbell, Husker Du and Nirvana. And our next album's going to be quite grungy. We've moved to Seattle and I hope someone's going to spot us.
I'm one of these people that can eat vast amounts without putting on any weight. I'm in fact weightless. I'm a space cadet. I also like listening to music, and I love to dance to music, especially in public and on stage. I was a member of the Kirov Ballet for 6 years.
Bob and Pete have got a crazy mansion together where we live with 2 cats and a girl called Selena.
Yes, you can truly say that we are new men.
This is Bob again. In my spare time, I dress up as Gary Newman.
Yes, you can truly say that you are a new man.
I've got a map of Yugoslavia on my wall, which is split into the new states that were formerly Yugoslavia. You can truly say it's a new map. The house we live in is in North London, in an area called Tufnell Park, which is well known for being quite tough. We're always getting hassled by the kids when we go to the shops, because we've got strange haircuts and...
We wear outlandish clothes. We're big film fans and are particularly fond of films involving Joe Mantegna. We particularly enjoyed Glengarry Glen Ross, which he wasn't in.
But it was scripted by David Mamet, who scripted every film we've ever watched. My ambition is, within the next 5 years, to develop a beer gut.
I have a far more serious ambition to achieve in the next 5 years. I want to be a brain surgeon.
I've started on my autobiography. It's called You Think I'm a Rock, but I'm a Crumbling Man. It's dedicated to my hero, Ross Perot. To him and my other hero, Robert Smith.
I'm into a lot of Japanese music at the moment, particularly Juan Atkin and Dalek Mai. And I also like
Juan
Detroit techno of Juan Atkins and Derek May. How about you, Bob?
Well, I think those guys at Urge Overkill, they've written some cool jams. Techno music, sort of more ambient Belgian stuff. I think we're going to enter our doo-wop phase next, after the next album, after the second album. We're going to leave Tufnell Park and move into a doo-wop phase somewhere in our time machine.
In the nether regions.
Somewhere in the Netherlands, we're going to listen to doo-wop. Well, we're off now. We're going to grab a glass and raise it to that mighty Phil Collins, a mere 42 years old, and isn't he a great man?
Well done, Phil.